Welcome to another episode of Explore Your Pour Academy. My name's Diana Novak. I will be your host. I'm also the resident spirits geek with Palm Bay International. You know Explore Your Pour as your one-stop shop for spirits information, for cocktail trends, even for cocktail recipes. Today we are lucky enough to be joined with Paola Medina, one of the most innovative winemakers and touted as one of the top 10 winemakers in all of Spain. She also is the master blender of DosMaderas Rums. Now, Paola, how are you doing today over in Spain?
Hi, Diana. I'm very well, and I am very excited today to explain all the process about to elaborate and the aging of the Rum DosMaderas family.
We're excited to have you. Now, with rum as a category, we find that a lot of rums can be kind of pigeonholed almost into sweet and too sweet, and a lot of times saved for vacation drinks. But as rum has advanced, and really in the last few years, we've seen people seek out different styles of rum and really seek out aged rums. What kind of elements are you seeing across the world with the rum category and rums in general as they develop over the years?
So I think the first thing is the most important is don't forget never the real character of the rum. It's very important for us the origin and the selection of the rums in the Caribbean, in Guyana and Barbados. This is very important. The second thing that is very important is the history and the knowledge that we have about the aging of the sherries and a different spirit drink, that we have here, like the brandy. So we have a large knowledge about the soleras and criaderas system. I think this is the best and the unique combination to have finally this peculiar rum, the DosMaderas rum.
As you mentioned, sherry plays a huge part in the final product, the creation of the DosMaderas rums. In the line, we have a few different expressions. We have the 5+3, the 5+5 PX, the Selección, and the Luxus. If you could walk us through how the sherry really plays a part and which sherries you chose to work with each one of these rums to then give us the final product. Could you talk a little bit about the production and the aging of each one of these expressions?
So for the rum DosMaderas 5+3, we select the Palo Cortado that has 20 years old of aging. And this wine was previously in the cask, and this wine is very old, it's very special, it's very elegant, gives the profile of the dry fruit, the almond. If the level of alcohol is very high of this rum, we can obtain and collect all this character of the dry fruit. That is the result of the profile and the style and the personality of the DosMaderas 5+3. If we use then in a second step PX cask, Pedro Jimenez cask, the Pedro Jimenez wine, the sherry, is a sherry wine that is very sweet. It has around 400 grams per liter of sugar and has a totally different profile. We can find some prunes, figs. So at the end, this rum is aging 3 years in Palo Cortado cask and then 2 years more in the PX cask. We obtain this complexity, the structure, and another rum that has a final aftertaste and this complexity, that is very different from the DosMaderas 5+3.
And when we talk about the selección, that is even more of an expression, a heightened expression, if you will, of the 5+5 PX. Can you talk about how you choose the selección?
The DosMaderas selection at the end was a selection of some cask of DosMaderas PX that was very, very special, and also we worked very hard to select a rum that was aging for a minimum of 10 years in Guyana and Barbados. That was very, very difficult because we are in Spain, the rum was in Guyana and Barbados, and also this rum was to be very, very serious. So with this criteria, we decide to select this rum from Guyana and Barbados that has a minimum of 10 years. We select this special cask of the DosMaderas 5+5 PX, and finally we have the DosMaderas selection.
Which is, it's a beautiful combination of the origin, as you spoke of before, the origin of these rums and the aging in Spain. Now you touched on Luxus a little bit. Could you expand a little on what Luxus is as an expression that you have?
The DosMaderas Luxus is a very special rum. At the end, the Luxus has 10 years of aging in Guyana and Barbados, and then 5 years more in PX cask, and the capacity of the cask is 600 liters. So at the end, we obtain this purity, this finest character of the origin, but also we apport the sherry character in the rum. And also the project of the DosMaderas Luxus has a social collaboration. We decide to apport some of the benefit to save the turtles. So at the end, we also want to contribute to conserve the turtles in the Caribbean.
Absolutely. It's important to have that activation and that activism and getting involved with the sanctuary of the animals, but then also just in general. Now with DosMaderas, as the name, it has a literal meaning and translation, but it also has a bigger meaning in the combination of two geographical areas. Now, can you talk a little bit about what the significance of DosMaderas as a name is for the rum, and why you chose DosMaderas as the name?
This rum has two lives, two periods of life. The first period was in the Caribbean and the second period was in Jerez. So at the end, this one rum was in two woods. So finally we decide to call the rum Two Woods, and in Spanish Two Woods means Dos Maderas. So it collects all the process of the rum, the wood in Guyana and Barbados, and also the wood here in Spain, in Jerez, in Williams and Humbert.
Now within rums, there are a lot to choose from. All over the world, different areas around the world have different categories. What do you think makes DosMaderas stand out as a rum? What makes DosMaderas different?
I think the difference is the personality of the sherries. The sherries is the unique wine in the world. If these wines can give some character and personality to the rum, This is the main point and the best important thing about the personality of our rums, no? The touch that gives the sherry wine.
Now, before we let you go, one of the more important questions definitely is, how do you like to drink it? What is your favorite expression of the rums? And then also, do you have a preferred cocktail or maybe even a pairing that you like as you're sipping on your rum, something you like to pair it with often?
Thing is that I like to drink the rum with thyme. At home and with thyme.
Well, I have a little daiquiri that I have made. If you have a little sip of your favorite expression of the rum, I would like to cheers you long distance. So, salud.
Salud.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Delicious.
Delicious. Perfect. So, Diana, thank you very much. Also, I think it's important to say that we have a web that if the people can consult and want to check some information, is DosMaderas.com, and also in the Instagram of Williams and Humbert. So we are very active in the social media. So you can find all the activities that we have, all the cocktail, the combination, and all the works that we do with the rums of Maderas.
Thank you again so much, Paola. Thank you for your time, your knowledge, your creations, everything, and speaking with us today with the Academy. For more information on anything as far as palm-based spirits are concerned, and for DosMaderas Rums, feel free to follow us at Explore Your Pour on Instagram, and go to palmbay.com, throw in your zip code, and find DosMaderas Rums at the closest place near to you. Thank you again for tuning in to another episode of Explore Your Pour Academy. Keep your eyes peeled for the next one, coming soon. Cheers.
Cheers.